Hey everyone, it's Dealer Destro back with a trip down memory lane. So I went and dug out the 25th anniversary HISS tank, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video this evening here. Man, as I was putting this stuff together, the nostalgia just kind of rushed over me, because you see, and I couldn't find the blueprints. I tried looking for them. They're somewhere filed away somewhere. But as I was like putting this together, just remembering how the vehicles came with their own file cards, that sparked a bit of that nostalgia that I got when I would go to the store and see the 25th anniversary figures on the peg. So nice little backstory, nice artwork. So hopefully y'all had a chance to pause that and look at that. We'll set that one to the side. Comes with a file card for the vehicle driver as well. It's the HISS Commander, which is just essentially a repainted HISS driver. Weird that they decided to go the route of issuing him as opposed to the traditional HISS driver, and then they actually ended up releasing the HISS driver single carded in the 25th run, but neither here nor there, just a little bit of history. So there's his profile. I guess getting right in, we'll take a look at him first. So, as stated, he is a rehashed Cobra HISS driver. Paint gets a little crazy. Otherwise, this thing is fairly clean. This is the only spot that I noticed it gets a little bit crazy. But other than that, I mean, figures cast in a blue plastic. You got some nice detailing on the helmet here. You know, they didn't have to put all those extra bits and details and then just give this kind of like that cloth look to break it up a little bit. I thought that was well done. Cobra insignia is fairly clean on here, as is the paint surrounding the borders of the chest plate. No idea what that is. Probably just some normal deterioration, discoloration from years of sitting there, I would suppose. So he's got metal gauntlets that are painted as well, which are painted pretty clean. And then on the back here, the web gear is painted. It gets a little crazy, like right here. But outside of that, I mean, they did a good job of staying in the lines for the most part. And the sculpt actually doesn't look that bad from the back. Now that I start paying attention to these little things here. I mean, back in the day when these were coming out, I was just so excited to see product on the shelves. We were just grabbing them, buying them up, and putting them on the shelves. Anyway, belt and ammo packs are painted on as well, which are done pretty good. He's got this holstered pistol here. I hope that's the right one. That's the one that was sitting in there whilst he was in the tank. He's got some armor leg sculpting, which is done really nice. Even where it transitions from the blue to the silver is done fairly well. You got these leg pads on the front, and they are in a different tone, but it doesn't look like weird or anything. I think it transitions nice down to the foot there. So. And then that's what he looks like from the back. So going over articulation, he's got pretty good range of motion for a vehicle driver. So arms go up to there. Of course, they do the 360 windmill spin. The fact that he's got these gauntlets sculpted in there, that kind of impedes elbow articulation. So it kind of just goes like that, and you can't really get much higher. But I mean, he holds, you know, he does what he needs to do. He sits in the cockpit of the tank. So metal T-joints, range of motions out to there for forward. Backward, we still have the double knee joint incorporated. However, because of how this is sculpted, it flares out. So, but again, you know, the fact that he's going to be occupying your tank, it does not make that big of a deal. So. All right, we'll put him to the side. And we'll take a look at this beastly guy here. So I'm going to attempt to zoom out a little bit. There we go. That looks like that's in frame. So they used to come in like in boxes with the clear plastic on the front and these background inserts. I think this is the one for the HISS tank because it's flush and that's how the unit was in the packaging, but I could be wrong. I have a box of these. This is the only one that didn't have a downward angle, which is how they package the two pack vehicles. So that's, I think that's what this bad boy came with. If not, I apologize. Just know that they came with some sort of cartoony, cool looking backgrounds packaged with the vehicles. So this thing rolls pretty good. The treads are non-functional, but you got these little wheel bits here underneath. See how close this thing's gonna let me get. So you got nice line work that gives it that kind of matte metal look. You got decals. Some of these were pre-applied in the packaging, which was really weird because it was like they would put on like the insignias and then they would want you to put on everything else. Like that one I remember putting on, that one, that one, that one, this one, and same for the other side. So yeah. And I mean, that added to some of the fun, the nostalgic feel. As far as what it can do, so you got your cannons and they can pivot up, pivot back down. What was weird is these things had a tendency to misalign the pieces in here. I'm not sure if they were pins or what, but when they broke, you would know it because your cannons would kind of droop on the older ones, and you see that a lot. So it does the full like swivel. Oh, and then they were kind enough to include a little control panel decal that you had to put on there, so that was pretty cool. And then the canopy, of course, opens so that you can put your driver in there. And then looking on the inside, they took some creative liberties here, which, I mean, it would have been nice if they would have done some like silver lining at least here to kind of bring out all this nice detail, because they have stuff. I mean, there's a control panel sculpted. There's all these little, I have no idea what these are. I guess control panels as well. And you even have like the diamond cut plating, for the back of the seat to make it look like it was metal. So, now that I'm looking at this, heck, I might even just take a brush with some silver and just dry brush in here just to bring some of this stuff out, because man, there is some good stuff going on in here. Seriously, look at all that. It's a shame too, because they did nothing to bring this out. Now that I'm actually looking at this. Anyway, so yeah, they again, I'm convinced that whoever they had working on this, oh, and there goes the canopy. I'm convinced that whoever they had working on this wanted this, they had a special place for this line. Like this line had a special spot in their hearts, because man, oh yeah, there's that decal that I had to put on too. So, I mean, again, all in all, not a bad vehicle, especially for what the going rate was when these things started coming back out, and then seeing them on the shelves again as an adult, you're like, man, nobody there to tell me no. So you grab every one you see. So I'm gonna put some figures on here, and then we'll be back to kind of, wrap up. All right, so here is the HISS tank, kind of all geared up with some figures on the inside of it. Here's the deal. You got two pegs on the back of this thing that technically could support two figures. However, the way that I display these at max is with 3. Because any more than 3 and you're pushing it. I mean, yeah, this thing's supposed to be a tank and whatnot. But driver, you always want someone in the turret up here, and then based on your feelings, heck, you might want two dudes back there. Who knows? It's It's your G.I. Joe verse. You play like you want, but this is how I roll with it. Just 1, 2, 3. And this thing looks great on a shelf. Or if you got like a miniature glass display case, you want to wow your friends when they come over, you know, this thing looks fantastic. I don't know what the going rate for these are anymore these days. I can't imagine it's more than 30 bucks. But, you know, here's what I'm going to say. If you can afford it, go for it. Because this is definitely a unit that is worth having in your collection. And if you're a troop builder like yours truly, you probably got a few laying around, or you might want to add a few after seeing this video if you've been on the fence since the dawn of time. So anyway, that's about it, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time, hope you guys take care, and we'll see you on the next go round.